What's up, guys? It's what is it? Wednesday, Tuesday? I don't know. Everything that's going on in my life right now, it's kind of all blended together. But anyway, we are back with another video today. I think I actually have everything set up really good. I think the audio levels are nice. Uh, I think the screen capturing is correct. I think I got the autofocus on the camera sorted out. There were times where it would like kind of zoom in at me and it, like I wasn't moving. So uh, we'll see if I got that set up right. I think I do. At least I hope I do. So we're gonna jump into today's race, which I think is gonna be a. Let me just make the game full screen. I think it's gonna be a tournament because I think I was doing it yesterday. But we'll go. Let's go underground. Let's see. Uh, yeah, we got a downtown series tournament. So um, now, normally I do play on hard if I'm playing on console. On emulation, there's just sometimes where it gets so frustrating if there is like a hiccup. It usually happens right towards the end of the race, and it causes the car to kind of veer to a side when you're not expecting it. And most of the time now I've had it where it literally ruined a 3-4 lap race. So I kind of gave up on that shit. So we're gonna see right now how this 4 lap video sounds. I hope it sounds okay. It sounds really loud in my fucking ear, but the levels on the Streamlabs show that it's should be right where I need it. Uh, yeah, like I just checked my headset volume and it's like halfway, so I don't really, I don't know. But we're here in the yellow Golf today. I've always started with the Golf in Underground. Um, I think I was like 12 when this game came out, and like I said, me and my buddy, my dad took us over to Best Buy, and we stood in line to get it the day of launch. It was a Thursday in November, and I remember he let my buddy stay over that night, and I don't remember if we stayed home from school on that Friday. I don't know if that's what we did, or I don't know. It was so long ago, I can't really remember. But I do know that whole weekend though, we played from like Saturday to Sunday. Actually, I think he stayed until Monday morning. I think he got the bus at my house. Uh, but I think we played it. We must have beat it twice, I think, that weekend. And just such a good such a good. I gotta fucking start racing here. Such a good nostalgic kick for this game. I feel is one of my favorites that I can remember a really vivid time. There's quite a few games, specifically on the PS2. Um, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, I think, was the other one that I was like, I got it at launch, and uh, we had Def Jam Fight for New York or Vendetta. Me and my buddy Brad, we used to play that shit all the time. There was quite a few games though that it had a big impact on like what my interests were. I mean, Tony Hawk, it influenced half the music I like. Need for Speed obviously influenced half my damn life of messing around with cars and motorsport stuff. And Def Jam Fight for New York, well, that was just like a really good fighting game that I don't think got the recognition that it really deserved. I mean, there was some jank in that game, but as far as like a co-op fighter, dude, it was a good game. We'll get to that at some point. I have a bunch of my old games downloaded and ready to go. Um, I got a lot of games that I don't remember even playing at all. So those will be fun to make some videos on. Um, that's if you want to even watch it. And again, I'm not making it for anybody but myself. This is literally just a escape from my real life and the problems that I'm having in the real life. It's mainly just family medical stuff. Nothing, nothing that I can really control, and I think that's what makes it the worst part about it. Things that I can control, I handle very well. When I can't control something at this level, it's almost like it makes you feel like you're helpless. There's nothing that you can do, and I hate that feeling, man. I really do. But enough of that shit. Let's fucking get this focus, man. How the hell are we losing to this shit? Got one lap. Hopefully the video looks really good today. I really spent some time with the filters for this game right now. There is still a little bit of flicker in, like, if you look really close at some of the street signs or the apartment building windows. There's some light flicker. I can't figure out how to like get that a little bit situated better without like making the graphics look really shitty. I mean, we're running at 60 frames. It's super crisp and clean on my end, and I'm sure it comes through on the video. I think I figured out the darkness problem that I was having with recording with the AMD. I think it was part of how the Radeon software works with screen recording. If I have HDR turned on, it makes my recording really dark. But on gameplay, it's perfect with HDR on. Now, when I go to record with HDR off, I can't really tell a difference on my screen. Like on my monitor, I can, but not as much on a PS2 game. And so I turned it off, and I think when I recorded, I did a test video this morning of, I think it was Tony Hawk, and it looked like it was like the right color, like it wasn't real dark, it wasn't fucked up looking. But that's a win there for the Golf. I gotta get the paint unlocked, man. Don't get me wrong, I love yellow Golfs, but um, man, every time you go to a race, dude, there's like three yellow cars, and most of the time, two of me and another car is a yellow Golf, and it's just there's no variety. I can't help that I picked a good car starting. I used to pick I mainly picked the Golf, but when I would get tired of starting the career in a Golf, my other car was that Peugeot 206. I just really liked the how you could customize it. It had some pretty good options for like the body kits and stuff. Uh, the I mean, the game has some pretty bad looking body kits. It was 2004, 2003. Cars in real life body kits were pretty bad looking. But it was it was the 90s and early 2000s. It's just part of how the culture was. I remember like those Rossi kits and shit that were, I don't know how to describe them. They were just, why would you change it? I mean, it looked bad, but then other Rossi kits looked really good. It was a time you had to live through. I remember paging through like Super Streets and looking at all the aftermarket parts that they were offering, and man, there were some fucking ugly body kits. And then of course, like, those are the ones that sold. So like, you'd be around your hometown, and when the local kid would get a new body kit for his car, most of the time, man, they were ugly as shit. And then nobody really could put them on right. Nobody understood the concept of gaps. Panel gaps are probably one of the easiest and biggest things to, if you fuck it up, you can notice it regardless of how nice that car is. At least I can. Maybe it's just because I've always been like detail oriented when it comes to that. My eyes instantly go to hood lines and trunk lines and make, if you got a 4-door and 2 of them doors are sagging like a motherfucker, oh, I'm gonna notice it real quick. Which, I mean, I've been guilty of that too. I'm not perfect, man. Some of my cars have been real shit, but that's what makes it kind of fun. To have everything perfect is way too much work for an average person that daily drives their car. I tried to keep my SI super clean, tasteful mods on it. I'm not a Honda driver. I am, but I'm not. I hit a piece of concrete on the highway. It flipped up and hit my door, put a little ding in it. I have a crack in my rear bumper. It's not horrible, but it's there. And yeah, it's just part of the things. You get 100,000 miles on these vehicles, and if you go into it thinking that it's gonna look like a pristine video game show car, Pennsylvania road's got another thing coming for you. I think these guys that have like these perfect cars in Pennsylvania anyway, a lot of them either have a daily driver and they drive their nice car once, twice a week, store it for winter, every one of my cars I've ever owned um, has always been driven 4 seasons through salt, snow, ice, hail. Uh, but yeah, so that's some rambling for you. I don't know. Trying to get through this tournament. These guys are busters even on medium. I probably should have did hard. Uh, like I said though, man, it sucks. You get through 4 out of 4 laps, and you're like 2 turns away from the end, and the emulator decides that you want to turn left right now. And of course, today I'm not having any issues with it whatsoever, which is cool. I'm glad. I really enjoy this game. I think Underground 1 and 2 are quite honestly the best in the series. I know everybody loves Most Wanted. I had a really good time with Most Wanted as a kid. Uh, I was working as a painter with my cousin when Most Wanted came out, and we used to have to go to like New Jersey and Washington. We went all over the place, and we would do jobs, but we'd have to have a hotel room for like the week. Well, we'd always have somebody bring an Xbox or a PlayStation for the hotel room. I mean, it was everything from Guitar Hero to Underground and Most Wanted. For a little bit of time there, we played Juiced. I used to shit on them. I was the youngest, so that's where I was going with it. I was the youngest out of everybody. I was 16, and everybody was in like their 20s and 30s, and I used to fucking sweep them. The drift events and shit, and just a lot of memories with all three of those games, from Underground to Most Wanted. And I can actually say that even Guitar Hero, the second one and whatever they called the third one, uh, was probably we used to bet on it. So like you'd bet on who was gonna have the highest score in that song. And man, there were times where not only did I get a good paycheck that week, I definitely left with like $200-300 extra of everybody's money that I would take. And I remember we used to drift, and nobody would bet with me when we would drift. We would bet, circuit races, drag racing, whatever. But anytime there was a drift event that popped up, nobody wanted to bet on it. And it was just so easy to drift in this game. So here we are. We're on. I think this is the last race. I think there's only 3 races in these tournaments. I think later on they did like, you could have like 4 or 5 races. I think I could be remembering like a juiced game, 1 or 2. What I would like to start making a video series on, I think it'd be fun to do like a let's play of one of the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. I have Extreme Racer 0 and 3. And Drift 1 or 2, I forget. I might actually have both. So I'll get those lined up, and we'll see if you guys like those series. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they're highway racing in Japan. It's one of those very niche games that if you didn't know about it, you probably didn't know about it. I learned about it. I walked into Best Buy one day, and I was trying to buy it was either the new Madden or the new NBA game, and I'm walking around the game shelf, and there's this game. It was in the new release section, and it was called Tokyo Extreme Racer 0. It was $20, and all the other games were like $50, $60, $40, $50, $60. I don't remember what PS2 games were, but this game was $20 fucking. So I'm like, yo, I'm not even going to spend what I have on the new Madden NBA. I was like, fuck, I'm just going to save the $40, buy Tokyo Extreme Racer, and see how I like it. If I don't like it, I'll just go trade it in. Had a really good rapport with the dude at Microplay right there in Reading. He would always give me pretty decent store credit, because most of my stuff was, well taken care of, and half my discs looked like they were never used. So he would always help me out. So I figured, fuck, I'm just going to get Tokyo Extreme Racer, and if it sucks, I'll take it to Microplay with maybe another game and the $40 that I had left, and I should be able to scoop Madden. At least I get to try this game. Well, let me tell you, man, I brought that game home, got through the settings, and like set up how I wanted it to. It was a really good street racing game. At the time of, you had Underground, where you had a lot of, it was street racing, but it was circuit-ish racing and point to point. This literally was you rolled up on somebody, flashed the high beams, and you took off. And you had like a fighting game at the top. You would have a health bar, And that was like if you were in front of that person, you'd be chipping away at their health. Now, if you hit the walls, the barriers on the side of the highway, or you hit cars, it would take your health away. And then obviously that person would pass you and they would start taking your health away from being farther and farther in front of you. Super cool game series that it's really weird that there wasn't ever really like a modern version of it. I'm talking like I know it came out for the 360 and it was called something else, like Import Racer Tuner Challenge or something, and I guess it failed, and I don't think they ever really revisited bringing it to like Xbox One or PS3, 4. Maybe it was on PS3, the import one, but you know, it's one of those games that, man, if it was around today. Now there is a game coming out called Night Runners. It's made by one or two dudes. It looks super promising in the sense of it looks like a 2023 version of Tokyo Extreme Racer. They're called like Wangan Midnight on in Japan. I've played the Japan game as well, and it has like cutscenes and storyline where the American version didn't. Still had cutscenes, but it wasn't like a story. Um, so the Japanese version is definitely the better version to play if you are okay with not understanding um, some of the subtitles and stuff that's going on. But it's a racing game. I mean, you can kind of grasp the gist of it just by watching it and seeing what's happening. Fuck, that's the second time. I don't know. We might lose this one here. That ain't too bad though. I mean, that was on me. I just wasn't paying attention. I was kind of like in a rhythm. But I hit that pole twice, I think, like once every lap. And yeah. So anyway, I'm hoping that this video. I'm sure this one's going to be a little bit longer than yesterday's because yesterday's was just still kind of trying to set things up. Today's is still kind of like that as well. Um, but I think I actually have it pretty well sorted and figured out. Uh, it's just going to make it so much easier when I move the webcam to the race rig. I think the videos that me and Ash will be able to make in that will be pretty cool. Um, she's been really good at learning how to rally. Um, we started her on a controller on the PS4, I think. We started playing like WRC 5 or 6, one of the old ones, and I moved her up to the. I have WRC 9, 10, and Generations on the Xbox One or Series X, and yeah. So I mean, I started her on controller, and then I started getting her set up in the rig, and she did her first race in the rig was like a NASCAR game, and she killed it, and I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna get you into rallying because it's a more fun racing experience in the rig. I feel. Don't get me wrong, like iRacing's great, and doing circle track laps like in a NASCAR game is great, or like a Gran Turismo, or just circuit racing like Assetto Corsa. Uh, that's all fun to me. It's hard to get her attention on that. She enjoys it, but not as much. Especially when I threw her in the rig on a rally game, it was like a lot more fun for both of us. For me, sitting there helping her, like teaching her some stuff, and for her actually playing it and just having fun. It was cool to see. But I think this is where we're gonna end this video today. It feels like it's been pretty fucking long. Yeah, so we almost got like a 20-minute video, which I wasn't expecting to do at all. I hope that the audio's okay and that I can keep this 20-minute video. I don't know how long I want to make my videos when I start actually doing like let's plays and just hanging out and doing stuff. I feel like the shorter the better, especially for me with the ADD. It's hard for me to just stay on topic, so a lot of my videos will just fucking turn into a 20-minute rant about absolutely nothing. Um, but if you made it this far and you actually watched it, props, and that's awesome because it's almost like we're hanging out then. And I don't get to see a lot of people anymore with life and just how everybody's schedule is. Uh, it's cool to at least be able to make something to make me feel better, and if you watch it and you feel better, well then that's cool. That means I did something cool today that made somebody feel a certain way, and that's what it's about, man. But I thank everybody if you had watched this. You guys are the real ones. Thank you. You guys have a good rest of your Tuesday? Wednesday. Tuesday.